Alright, so I'm going to show you guys today how to customize your buttons a little bit. You can create or download different buttons and then control what the program does with those buttons through code with VB.net. So to start off, let's add two buttons. Well, we'll add one button, customize it, and then add another. Alright, so there's your button. In the properties window, what you want to do is you want to change the back color to transparent, background image to your original look, the unpressed is what mine is called. Here's the pressed, the not enabled, and the hover. The hover is lighter than the pressed, or the unpressed, and the pressed is darker than the unpressed, and the not enabled is grayed out. So I'm going to go with the pressed, and then stretch your image. Notice how mine's doesn't look very good, so we'll do it like that. Right, and then you want to change the flat style to flat, and your flat appearance you want to change the border size to 0, the mouse down back color to transparent, and your mouse over back color to also transparent. Okay, let's see, what else is there I need? The text, change that to just button 1, and then change the font size to a little bit bigger so that you can see. There you go. And that's pretty much it. So we're going to go ahead and copy and paste this one. The only thing that you're going to change on this is that you're going to change the enabled to false, the text to button 2, and the image to your not enabled version of it. Okay, so now let's open up the button 1, click event. What we're going to do is we're going to change button 1's enabled to false, buttons 2 enabled to true. We're going to change the background image of button 1 to my.resources.not-enabled, and button 2's background image to my.resources.unpressed. Okay, and we're going to open up button 2 and do the exact opposite. So we're going to do button 2.enabled equals false, button 1.enabled equals true, button 2.background image equals my.resources.not-enabled, and button 1.background image equals my.resources.unpressed. Alright, now on to the actual customizing of the buttons. So when your mouse enters a button, you want it to be a little brighter to show that the mouse has entered. So you want to open up the mouse enter event for button 1. Alright, and then type in if button 1.enabled equals true, then button 1.background image equals my.resources.hover. Alright, else button 1.background image equals my.resources.not-enabled. What this does, this if block, it asks if it's enabled, then change it to hover, which means that you can use this button. But if it's not enabled, then it just keeps it to not enabled, because whether or not it's enabled or not, your mouse will still go in when you press the button, so it'll actually still be the hover and unpressed look. So if it's not enabled, which we could declare right as the first thing here, then we're going to say that we're not going to use it. Alright, and do the same thing for mouse down. If button 1.enabled, alright, sorry about that. Where were we? Button 1 mouse down, if button 1 enabled equals true, then button 1.background image equals my.resources dot mouse down would be pressed. Else button 1 dot background image equals my.resources dot not enabled. And you're going to keep doing this for the mouse down, the mouse enter, the mouse leave. The mouse leave will be if button 1 dot enabled equals true, then button 1 dot background image equals my.resources dot mouse leave would be unpressed. Else button 1 dot background image equals my.resources dot not enabled. And then also the mouse up. With the mouse up, all you have to do is copy the code from the mouse enter and paste that into mouse up, because when you press the button, your mouse will still be on the button, so you'll need to hover it. Alright, do this exact same for button 2, and then we're going to test it and see that it works. Alright, so I just finished doing the button 2. It's all exactly the same. Let's go ahead and test this out and make sure it works. Alright, so you got your button 1. That's the regular look. That's the hover. So notice the difference. And that's the pressed. And now it disables this and enables this. It's exactly the same. And it works. See, now you can't use this because it's not enabled, but you can use this. But you can't use that. Alright, so that's the simple way of changing the images for buttons on your forms to make them look a little bit more customized. You know, you don't have to always use the regular form look for everything. So next one, I'll be showing you how to use formless, borderless forms and still have a border. It's kind of interesting. Alright, well, thanks for watching.
Drop the bass.